Looking Glass was one of the great leaders of the Nez Perce tribe, a man whose name is remembered with honor and bravery in Native American history. He was born in the early 1800s, at a time when America was changing rapidly. This was an era when, in the name of westward expansion, white settlers were slowly occupying Native American lands. Looking Glass devoted his life to protecting his people, their land, and their way of life. For a long time, the Nez Perce tribe was known as a peaceful and cooperative nation. They made many efforts to maintain harmony with the U.S. government and settlers. The tribe was respected for its honesty, cooperation, and for keeping its promises. Looking Glass himself initially believed that through peaceful dialogue with the government, the future of his people could be secured. He did not want his people to suffer through war and bloodshed. Looking Glass was a leading chief of the Wallowa Band. The Wallowa Valley was not just land for the Nez Perce. It was their identity, their memories, and deeply connected to the spirits of their ancestors. This was the land where their forefathers had lived, hunted, and kept their traditions alive for generations. However, as the number of settlers increased, the government began pressuring the Nez Perce to leave their land and move to a reservation. By the 1870s, the situation had become extremely serious. The U.S. government gave a clear order that the Nez Perce must abandon their homeland and live on a reservation. This decision caused deep pain to Looking Glass and his people. Leaders like Looking Glass and Chief Joseph made every possible effort to find a peaceful solution. They hoped to avoid war so that their children and elders could remain safe. Unfortunately, the stubbornness of government officials and the greed of settlers made these negotiations meaningless. In 1877, when attempts were made to forcibly move the Nez Perce to a reservation, the situation spiraled out of control. A series of violent incidents fueled fear and anger, and ultimately the Nez Perce War began. This war was not just about weapons. It was a fight for freedom, dignity, and identity. During the war, Looking Glass emerged as a crucial military leader. He had deep knowledge of mountains, rivers, and forest routes. He taught his people how to survive and escape. Despite being greatly outnumbered, the Nez Perce were traveling with women, children, and elders. This was not merely a military campaign, but the journey of an entire nation. The U.S. Army was far superior in numbers and weapons, yet many times it was embarrassed by the courage, strategy, and determination of Looking Glass and the other Nez Perce leaders. The Nez Perce traveled nearly 1,300 miles. This journey is still regarded as extraordinary in military history. They crossed harsh regions of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, moving steadily toward Canada. They believed that if they reached Canada, the Sioux people would give them refuge and allow them to live in freedom. Along the way, many battles were fought, many lives were lost, and countless hardships were endured. Hunger, exhaustion, cold weather, and constant pursuit by the army pushed the Nez Perce to their limits. Still, Looking Glass never lost his resolve. He continued to encourage his people and urged them to keep moving forward. He believed that struggling for freedom was better than living in chains. Tragically, fate did not favor them. Canada was only a short distance away when the Nez Perce were surrounded. Near the Bear Paw Mountains in Montana, the cold was severe. The people were exhausted, and supplies were nearly gone. During this time, Looking Glass was killed by gunfire in battle. His death was a devastating blow to the Nez Perce. They had lost one of their strongest and most determined leaders. A few days later, Chief Joseph finally surrendered. His words, "From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever," became immortal in history. This surrender marked not only the end of a war, but also the shattering of the Nez Perce dream of freedom. They were forced away from their homeland and sent to distant, harsh reservations. Today, Looking Glass is remembered as a brave warrior, a wise leader, and a man who risked everything for his people. His life teaches us that a true leader is not one who only knows how to fight, but also one who seeks peace. His legacy lives on as a symbol of courage, resistance, and the unbreakable spirit of Native American nations. Even today, the story of Looking Glass reminds us that true courage lies in standing for what is right, even when the odds are against you. His life teaches us to respect freedom, honor history, and never forget the sacrifices made by those who came before us. If you found this story meaningful, take a moment to reflect on its message and share it with others who value truth and history. And if you enjoy learning about powerful stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content.